Hey there, professional psychic and astrologer Karen Marie. This is Friday, October 10th. Thought I'd jump on and talk a little bit about the transits that are to be going on over the weekend and early next week. So, the two main players in the skies right now are Pluto and Venus. Right now, Pluto is sitting retrograde at 1 degree and 22 minutes of Aquarius. It will station direct on Monday. That'll happen exactly at 9:52 p.m. Austin, Texas time. But it's in the same space in the skies right now today that it will be when it stations direct. So it's basically come to a standstill. Any planet, when it's stationing retrograde or direct, when it's about to turn around in the skies, it becomes its most powerful, its most potent. So it's been standing still, slowing down for a couple of weeks now, which means it's amping up the energy. Now, Pluto represents death and transformation, power and control issues, deep dark secrets being revealed. It's the Lord of the underworld, it's the ruler of Scorpio. So these transits can show up in your life in some way. You can be doing some deep sea diving within, especially with Pluto retrograde. It's a bit offline, and we tend to turn those energies more internally, looking within what do we need to transform deep within our own lives. It can be a great time to go into therapy or self reflection or writing in your journal when Pluto is retrograde. As it stations direct, it's like back online. It's like an excavation crew moving into your yard. It's going to make lots of noise. It's going to be disruptive. It can even be knocking down the buildings. Uh, but if Pluto destroys something, takes it away, it will bring something even better in its place in the future. So if you can let go of what's going down in the 3D realm, you're going to be better off instead of trying to try to control things. No, this could show up as someone in your life trying to have power and control over you. It can be issues of where is your power? Do you feel empowered within yourself? Are you giving your power away to someone or something? Does something else has the power over you right now? So there's questions of this. And as this heats up and exaggerates over the weekend, there can be a lot of people just who want to try to control things, who want to control others, just getting more and more worked up. We can certainly see that going on in this country with people who want to be in power and control and have control over others. Pluto is an Aquarius. Aquarius is where we all vibe together. It's humanity. It's the future. It's things outside of the box. It's the unique, the different. So Pluto just moved into Aquarius for the next 20 years last year. So it's early degrees still. So over these next 2 decades, Pluto will be transforming our social systems. Who has the power? It will go from the top down power over to we, the people, have the power. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius, it takes 250 years ish to get around the entire zodiac. We had both the French and the American revolutions. So, yes, these are revolutionary times, and the people will gather together, unite, stand up, and the power will be dispersed amongst the people instead of the top down power over. So, that's the backdrop, the change. So that makes me not worry too much about what's going on right now, knowing that all these towers of Babel that have been built will be toppling down. Like our governments may be completely transformed and changed. Like transformation can be messy, right? So that energy is going on. Again, Pluto stations direct on Monday evening, the 13th at 9:52 p.m. here in Austin, Texas. That's Central Time. So it's going to be feeling even more and more exaggerated over the weekend. So these issues of power and control are going to show up everywhere. internally, externally, one-on-one, and then in the world around us. So that's just in a very intensive backdrop. So just you're not crazy if you're just feeling this intensity or not wanting to go outside. The sun is moving through Libra right now. It is at 17 degrees of Libra. So that means like for the last 18 days, it's been moving through Libra, which can put our attention on relationships. Venus is the ruler of Libra, and Venus rules our relationship. It rules love. Venus is love itself, divine love, self-love, our relationships that we experience love. The women in our lives are Venus. It's also the gay and transgender and the unique and the different. Like Venus loves everybody, right? This is truly divine love. Venus is also about beauty and the arts and creativity. And she's also rules money and finances. So these could be issues that are up. Libra is about justice and fairness, right? It's where we get relationships one-on-one right with other people. So these issues can all be heightened right now with the sun illuminating the energies of Libra. Libra is a cardinal sign, which means it initiates things. So you could have new relationships that are forming. One thing about Pluto and Aquarius, since Aquarius rules our groups, our networks, our tribe, our social circles, those are all going to be transformed. So if you have friends dropping away, or if you feel called to leave a group, whether that's your workplace or a group you've been hanging out with or people you've been hanging out with, these are the times to let the old go and let new come in. New people coming into your life is really the theme going on as well. So be open to beautiful new energy coming on. And with Venus really activated this week, it could show up as new people coming into your life as well. Venus, the planets can represent a person showing up in your life or things going on internally. And then some people don't notice transits at all, especially if they're not paying attention. I always like to ask people to start with paying attention to where the moon is and where the moon's transiting and how are you feeling. For example, right now the moon is moving through Gemini. Gemini is all about communication. It's about getting on your phone, getting on social media, being busy. You might find lots of creative ideas, lots of extra talkative, want to get out and connect with your neighbors or call up your siblings. Like these are all Gemini things. So tomorrow on Saturday at 6:10 a.m. Austin time, this is when it's exact. Now we feel transits before they happen. We can feel them afterwards. And before I jump in tomorrow, there is another aspect that's happening. It was exact yesterday, which is Eris and Chiron conjunct in Aries. So Chiron is the wounded healer. It can be shining the light on where we've had wounds, not only in this lifetime, but past lives, our ancestral DNA that are in our bodies. Like it can be deep. Eris is the rejected feminine. The story behind Eris is she was not invited to the wedding on Mount Olympus. And so she showed up at the reception and raised some holy hell. And so this can, in a positive way, Eris can represent how we stand up for ourselves, but it can be the divine feminine that's rejected. Like you are too much, like go, powerful women. It can also mean people who are losing their minds, can feel a bit cray-cray, jealousy, rage, envy, these kind of energies can be heightened. And especially if you've had any wounding around this. So that was exact yesterday. These two are going to be within a 3-degree orb of each other way into next year. There's another exact conjunction in March of 2026 of these two. So we're being asked to heal any woundedness that we've had because of this rejected feminine. Now, if you are a woman, I don't need to tell you anymore. You've had a direct experience. But even for the men, how is your relationship with your mother? Was she a rejected woman in some way, right? Like we can, again, take on the energies of what our parents were dealing with. One of the most mind-blowing things for me was when a healer told me that I had my father's wounded infant active in me. My father's mother had committed suicide when he was an infant. And so he had a wounded infant that never got healing. And then as an empath, I had taken on unconsciously his wounded infant in my system. So I remember the first time I heard this, like, wow, okay. So that's just an example of how woundedness can show up that's not even your stuff. You didn't have some wounding there. So, but the opportunity with Chiron is to heal your woundedness wherever it is. And when anything has an aspect with Chiron, we can feel triggered. And again, they've been close to each other for a while. I had a woman go off on me on Facebook about a week ago, and I was like, what? And then was I looking at this like, oh, okay, here's this rejected feminine full of rage and anger and was targeting me. I triggered her in some way. So that's just an example of how these aspects can show up in your life in some way. So it's an opportunity to heal. And Chiron was an alternative healer. So it may be that you get ideas about how to heal things through alternative modalities, whether that's going to an acupuncturist or a Reiki master or massage therapist or a healer of some sort that does therapy or constellation work or things that are sort of outside of the box. You may feel drawn to that. So again, these two are going to be in close proximity for a while. So this is also a backdrop energy that's going on right now. Healing that wounded, rejected, divine feminine. We can definitely see how that's going on in our society as well. Okay, so tomorrow on Saturday, the 11th at 6:10 a.m., Venus is in an opposition with Saturn, and Saturn's in the late degrees of Pisces. So Venus has been moving through Virgo since September 19th. So Venus bringing the love energy into Virgo is about how can we love ourselves better with how we're caring for our health, the attention to details around our health, how we feed ourselves, our food, getting things cleaned up in terms of what we're consuming, our daily groove, our daily routine, getting into some healthy routines. Like you may have felt more naturally drawn to meditating more or exercising more or cleaning up your food or diet. That's classic Venus in Virgo energy. Now she's going to be ratcheting up, moving through these last degrees of Virgo. So bringing the lessons to a close for now of Venus in Virgo. And tomorrow she'll have an opposition with Saturn. Now, Saturn can be like the school teacher with the, ruler going to slap you on the knuckles. It can come in with the no. Saturn is father time. So there could be something that we're told no about. It's because it's just not the right time. It's about setting up boundaries. No, that's not an example of self-love. No, you can't do that. It again may show up with someone in your life saying, no, it could feel like a disappointment because Venus wants to go after her dreams. She's like, again, she could be being creative. I'm just being loving. And like something could come in that says, no. So it could show up in relationships as like a hard stop. No, not doing this anymore. Or, it doesn't work for me when you do this, So it could show up again, someone externally coming in as the Saturn energy, stopping something. It could be an internal, like divine higher self is saying, let's not do that. That's not really loving. That's an example it could show up. But it could be kind of an ouch, and opposition is like a tug of war, and Saturn's going to win in this tug of war. It's the outer planet. It's in control. And Saturn's moving. It's moved back into the last degrees of Pisces. So there's also these lessons of, are you listening to your intuition? Are you following your own higher self? Are you tapped into the great source of all things? And again, Venus is love. So there can be this messages that come through about listening to your intuition and tapping into source energy. On Sunday at 1:37 a.m., so Saturday night late, early Sunday morning, the moon moves into Cancer. It can bring some vivid dreams. It can also make us more emotionally sensitive. also more psychically sensitive. So the moon is moving through Libra on Sunday and into Monday. Um, and also Jupiter is there in Cancer. Um, so the moon moving into Cancer can bring up this mother issues, childhood issues. These can surface, and especially with Pluto already like going within, it could, and Chiron, they're in an active place with Eris. There can be a lot of stuff that just kind of bubbles up from deep within our psyche. So there's a lot of different planets that are sort of pointing to, yeah, look at that stuff that you've been repressing or not looking at. Or maybe you're someone like me who dives deep and has already been like excavating for decades. More insights could come around what you need to see in terms of internal healing and nurturing, how to nurture yourself better. On Monday at 4:18 p.m., Venus moves into her home sign of Libra. Now, she rules both Libra and Taurus, but she's like, honey, I'm home. She loves it in Libra, and it brings the sweet Venus energy into this area of relationships where the sun is, right? So there's more energy now focused, even more so on relationships, issues of justice and fairness. Venus wants everybody to feel loved and supported. At 8:15 on Monday, Venus has an opposition with Neptune at the early degrees of Aries. It's going retrograde right now. So Neptune is the psychic radar planet. It's the ruler of Pisces. So anytime you're dealing with Pisces energy, there's two different fish. Like one fish is psychic and spiritual and connected to all that is, and then the other fish wants to check out, get caught up in addiction, distraction, dissolving. So, with this opposition with Venus and Neptune, something may dissolve, may be taken away. Another thing, Venus and Neptune can be the beautiful illusion, something that really is too good to be true. It could also bring in the higher aspects of Venus and Neptune can be this beautiful psychic spiritual connection that you could have with someone else. So it can, again, it's an opposition. Again, Neptune's going to win this tug of war. So Venus has the tug of war with Saturn on Saturday and then the tug of war with Neptune on Sunday. But she's in her home sign, so she's feeling more optimistic. And then Monday night at 9:52 p.m., as I've said before, Pluto stations direct. So it's almost like an earthquake, the earth shaking. We may literally have some earthquakes over this weekend or into early next week because this is the powerful energy. And when Pluto is moving forward again, then it's all right, excavation, let's go. Transformation, ho. So there's a positive, powerful energy moving forward on starting Monday evening. On Tuesday at 5:47 a.m., the moon moves into Leo. This puts energy and focus on creativity, the children in your life, your own inner child, romance. So with Venus super active and then the moon moving into Leo, there's just this lot of activation around relationships this week is what I'm feeling. Also on Tuesday at 9:09 a.m., Venus is in a trine, which is a positive aspect with Uranus, the great awakener. So surprising, shocking, positive messages can come in. It can come out of nowhere. Like Venus is beautiful love and Uranus is like, wake up. So there could be some interesting expressions of love showing in surprisingly. Again, that could be a psychic download, a spiritual moment where you have that spiritual awakening. It could be a person that comes in bringing a message that's like, wow, I needed to hear that. Creative ideas, all of a sudden you get inspired to write a song or paint the most amazing painting you've ever painted. Like it's great for creativity and being inspired. And then later on Tuesday evening at 6:45 p.m., Venus has a trine, again, a positive relationship with Pluto, and Pluto will be now moving forward. So this can be transformative love coming in. So like I said, Pluto and Venus are the major players here over this next few days. Wednesday is quiet. Like we get a rest time after all this powerful energy. And a lot of these are positive aspects. So there can be a lot of positive change that happens quickly over this next weekend. Don't be surprised if someone new doesn't come into your life over these next few days, or you get some great aha realizations, awakenings. Like I said, the best channeled messages coming through directly. And I believe everyone is psychic. We're all intuitive. Some of us have the volume turned up louder than others, just like anybody could sing or play an instrument or beat a drum. And then some people are going to be supernaturally gifted. And with psychic stuff, sometimes people just, I can't turn it off, right? But everybody can turn up the volume, just like everybody could learn to play an instrument. You can open up and listen to your intuition. Now, your intuition comes through with, wouldn't you love to do this? This feels really great. And the mind comes in with direction. It's usually more, you should do this, you need to do that. Like, it's more harsh. That's the mind talking. The intuition, as it comes through, it is love. It is this beautiful flow. Like, there's just a difference in the energy. So if you're paying attention and you're not sure, okay, is this my intuition telling me something, or is this just my mind telling me? Where does it feel like it's coming from within your system? If you could just pause and like, okay, I feel like I should do this. Okay, is that a should coming from your mind, or is this, oh, I really want to do this? I'm feeling guided to do this. And if you pause and create space to get quiet with your mind, get quiet with your emotional body, you can be more attuned to the subtle promptings that you're being guided to do. Because when you listen to your own intuition and follow its guidance, you are on the right path for your life, the best path by your life. Your intuition is your internal GPS system. So please create some time and space every day to quiet the mind, quiet the emotional body, and just tap in and ask your higher self, what do I feel guided to do right now? Pause, listen. You can set that intention when you're going to sleep at night too. You can leave it open ended. Write it in a journal. What do I feel guided to do? And then just pay attention to what kind of subtle signs and signals show up in your day. Many blessings. Peace.